Welcome to Life Deceit's podcast. The space where truth meets healing and where silence ends. I'm your host, Jen Simpson. How are you doing? How is your day, your afternoon, your night, wherever you are in the world? Welcome, 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 welcome. And welcome to my new listeners. And today's episode is a heavy one. It's real heavy, and it's a conversation, and it's a topic that is absolutely necessary. It's a mix of grief, reflection, and purpose. You know, when we're having heavy conversations that are uncomfortable, sometimes it gets a little bubbly. On the inside, different emotions starts flowing through. But we pull through and we are here for each other. But this conversation begins with love. And I know that last week, I didn't get to personally face to face with you guys and say Happy Mother's Day. And I want to say first, happy belated Mother's Day to you, phenomenal woman.
On this special day, we honor dear mother. For all the love
I want to say thank you guys for being present and honor every single mother, every single woman. Honor you guys. Really, truly appreciate you for who you are, the choices that you've made, the decisions that you've made, and honor every single mother, nurture, and maternal figure listening. Welcome to the podcast, and thank you for tuning in. And, you know, I really just want you guys to understand that it doesn't matter if you've carried a child in your own womb. A lot of times people think, well, I'm not a mother, so I'm not going to celebrate Mother's Day. I never had a child physically myself. But it doesn't matter if you've carried a child in your own womb or in your heart. Your love is absolutely sacred. Your love is one of a kind. Your love is needed. Your love is required. Your presence is valued and appreciated and necessary. You don't have to physically carry a child, birth a child to be a mother. You are a figure, a mother figure, whether you are a grandparent, whether you are an adoptive parent, whether you are a godparent, whether you are a sister and somebody who has nieces and nephews, you are still a nurturer. Motherhood is not just a title, that beautiful title that we throw around that I'm a mother. It is a journey, and it is a long journey, and being a mother never stops. Doesn't matter what age your child is, being a mother never stops. The journey always continues. Being a mother is a calling, a quiet revolution of the soul. It's the sleepless nights. Trust me, I remember those sleepless nights with my son and my daughter. They used to wake up for chocolate bubba like at 3 a.m. every morning. And I used to be like, oh my gosh, when are you guys going to get out of this phase of chocolate bubba? Which was Milo and milk, warm Milo and milk to comfort them to sleep. The silent prayers, those silent prayers that we do when our kids are sleeping, when our kids are off to school, when our kids aren't around us. And, you know, I used to see my mom do it. I used to wonder, oh my gosh, when is she going to stop praying? Why is she always praying? Now, being a mother, I fully understand the blessing of a silent prayer that comes from our parents. The thousands of sacrifices made without applause. Sometimes we make these sacrifices and, you know, our kids, other people forget to honor and, you know, thank us for the things that we do. But trust me, there are silent applauses for who you are and the sacrifices that you continue to make as a mother, regardless if it's said out loud or not. It's also in the laughter, the hugs, the strength it takes to love, even when you're running on empty. I know moms, we've all had our moments where we felt like we were empty. We needed to be refilled, we need to be recharged, but we still kept going. We still kept loving and doing, even when we couldn't do it. Even on the days when we're tired, even on the days that we're burnt out, we are still doing it for our kids, for the love that we have for our kids. we're always doing for them. And I want to remind you today, I know Mother's Day passed, but Mother's Day is every day. It's not just one day you guys are celebrated. It's all year round. Mothers, you are seen. You are valued. And I hope that you found moments of peace and recognition on Mother's Day. That peaceful moment where you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I accomplished. I went through this. I survived. I thrived. I did well. I hope that you had a moment for yourself to inhale and exhale and embrace your calling. Embrace the gift of being a mother, whether maternal or not, but embrace the children that you were able to guide and mentor in your life. I hope you all had an amazing Mother's Day. Mine was great. I enjoyed mine. I enjoyed mine with my children, being able to spend the time with them, being able to do the things with them that they loved made me feel good. That was the blessing for me. I didn't need a gift because they truly, people say, oh, you know, your kids are, but truly my kids are my gift. They're a blessing. Every day I wake up, I'm learning something new. I get to watch them grow each day I wake up in the morning. It's a blessing to open my eyes to be around them. And I got to spend it with them, just looking at their smiles, watching them play basketball, watching them fight with each other. I mean, it can be annoying sometimes and pretty loud, but being able to allow them to be a kid is what I truly enjoyed. And I hope that you guys had the moment to embrace those moments and look at your children, look at the kids that are in your lives and just smile and be like, I am a part of something beautiful. I am part of them growing. I'm a part of who they're becoming. You're helping to shape them. So happy Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day, because I know, you know, it's supposed to be celebrated on the day, but we're celebrating all year round. Every day, mothers, you were honored and you were loved. But guys, I'd be lying if I said this year didn't feel a little bit different on Mother's Day. This Mother's Day felt different for me. And I'm not too sure if you guys are aware, but there's like, you know, there's something in the atmosphere. And if it didn't carry a pain that was both personal and collective, I don't even know what to describe it as. Because I feel like there's so much going on. And because, you know, with social media now, we're able to see it. Before, there was no social media. So we weren't seeing these things as much as we're seeing them now, and it's in your face. Like, you can't deny it. You can't run from it. You turn on the computer, you're on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you see it. You read it. There's videos now. Everyone's taking videos. So there is proof. You get to see the graphics. You get to see the gruesome stuff. And, you know, I felt a little bit off because just before Mother's Day, just 2 days before Mother's Day, we lost a child, and we're losing children, you know, daily.
A manhunt is now on for a 39-year-old man believed to have killed a 9-year-old girl in the community of Joblin, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Friday.
We may not hear about all the stories, but it's happening daily. But we lost a child, and not just any child, a Jamaican child. A baby of our soil, a baby of my soil.
That was once close, ripped apart. There was not a dry eye in sight at 50C Joblin in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, as family, friends, and residents tried to come to terms with the tragic death of 9-year-old Kelsey Ferrigon.
It was here that she was last seen alive on Friday with her younger sibling. Now, several hours later, her body would have been found stuffed in a barrel. The residents are alleging that she was sexually assaulted. The suspect, a known sex offender, and a family friend in this close-knit residence.
And it had me on waves. My heart has been like fluttering ever since I got whiffed of it. And I've had a couple of, you know, sleepless nights. I haven't been able to shut down from social media, turn off the internet and collect my thoughts and think about it and decompress. I have not been able to do that because once I see something, I just stick to it, and I want to know what's next. I want to know what happened. I'm thinking all these things. How did she feel? How's her family feeling? How can I do something? The tragedy of Kelsey Ferrigon. It's a beautiful name. I love the name. And she is a beautiful young girl. She was only 9 years old. And her life was stolen from her violently and horrifically. And if you guys haven't heard of the story yet, go take a look. And here are, a couple of clips from what's been going on in social media and a little backstory on it. When you get some time, you can go on the internet, you can do your research and read up a little bit more on it. Sometimes news travels in different ways and shapes and forms, and we don't always get it right. We don't always bring the pieces together because there's so much noise around it and everybody's saying this and somebody's saying that and it's like playing broken telephone. But from what I collected, on May 9th, Kelsey was found unalive on Job Lane in Spanish Town, St. Catharines, Jamaica. This hit deep because I'm also from St. Catharines, Jamaica, and it just really shook up the community to know that this is happening in our backyards. I had to let that sink in because she was 9, so innocent, so pure, so loving, so free, and life ahead of her. This is more than just a headline. This is more than just a case. This was a child, someone's child, our child. And I say our child because we forget that every single child is connected to us in some way because we also have children. We are a village and we look out for each other. And that's how it's always been. Why are we changing that? She was a little girl who should have been laughing outside with her friends. I don't know. Do kids still pick mangoes? Do kids still climb trees? But outside laughing with her friends, learning new things, dreaming big dreams, enjoying herself, singing, enjoying the beauty of life, the weather changes, the hot, beautiful sun glowing on her skin. Instead, she became a symbol of how broken our systems are.
Appealing to residents to allow the security forces to do its job.
Jungle justice never solves a problem. I understand how they feel, I understand the emotion, I understand the anger, because I'm angry. But the law should take its course.
I sat with this for the whole entire weekend with it in my mind, jumping out of my sleep, wondering what she went through and her moments, and thinking about what her parents, her mother, her siblings, her father could be feeling. The agony, the heartache. Then there was a shared grief, the loss of Adrianna Younge. And just when we thought our hearts couldn't carry any more pain, another tragedy emerged weeks prior to Kelsey's. This one took place in Guyana.
This shocking video captures the moment when missing 11-year-old Adrianna Younge was found lifeless in a pool at Doubleday Hotel in Tuchen, East Bank, Essequibo, Guyana.
So when I said, Mother's Day was kind of bittersweet, it's like we all have our children and we're expected to watch our children grow up and we have these hopes and dreams for them and we support them. We hope that they fulfill them. But then we hear things like this. Adrianna Younge, she was an 11-year-old girl, a vibrant, brilliant soul, also gone. Cut short for reasons we don't know and we can't even seem to piece together. Adrianna lost her life while vacationing at a resort in Guyana with her family. And we think about it and we talk about safety and we're like, we try so hard to be safe. We try so hard to protect our children and be there and, shelter them and give them the right tools that they need to navigate through life and know danger, stranger danger, know how to conduct themselves. But a trip that should have been filled with laughter and joy became a moment of horror for Adrianna's family. Just weeks before Mother's Day, can you guys imagine? Or have you ever lost a child or, going through it right now and thinking about, what does that feel like? What does that look like? What are your senses, your smell? How do you go through life? How do you pick up the pieces? The questions start floating around in my mind and it hurts. It really does hurt. Adrianna was found unresponsive in a pool at the resort. And despite best efforts of responders, she didn't make it. And in those moments, I could think about what that mom was feeling. Just being there and watching all of this happen around her. And we want to be able to help our kids, but we can't because in that moment we're hopeless. We are hopeless. You are hopeless. And as a village and as a mother, another mother, I can feel that pain. It's said that while investigations are ongoing, I must ask myself, and we must ask ourselves, why do these stories keep happening? Why? It's a question that we keep asking ourselves. I keep asking myself this question. Why do these things keep happening? Why are these stories repeating? Why are our children still so unsafe? Even in places that promise care and protection, even in those places, a resort, while our children are at home, and our home is supposed to be their safe haven. I'm going on a vacation. My child's supposed to be safe with her family. I shouldn't be thinking about that I'm going to be leaving a resort without my child or coming home to my child's lifeless body. We have these questions. But her name must be spoken. Her life must be honored. And her death must not be buried beneath silence, tourism, or bureaucracy. And sometimes people want us to shut up and move on and keep quiet just for the sake and just for peace and just for saving face. But we should not be keeping silent because this could have been any one of our children, our loved ones, somebody close to us. It could have been anybody. What affects one child affects all. Just like Kelsey and Adrianna reminds us the danger isn't just out there. It's in our systems. The dangers is not just out there in the world. It's not outside when they leave our homes. It's not outside when we send them to school. It's not outside when we send them to friends' houses. It's within our systems. These systems that are created to protect us. These systems that are created for us. The dangers are within them. In our lack of accountability, in our tendencies to whisper when we should be roaring. I learned that before and I keep learning is that we want to stay silent. We want to keep things best kept. Last episode, we talked about best kept. Nothing is best kept. Because while we think, okay, we're keeping it a secret and we're going to keep it the secret for ourselves and we're not going to tell anybody because it only affected us. It affects somebody else because what if what we went through, somebody else will be going through the same thing at the hands of the same person who caused us that trauma. The systematic failing and a call for change is not enough to mourn. We must protect. We must prevent. We have a duty to protect and do our best to prevent these things from continuing to happen in our backyards, in our homes, in our communities. It is our duty to come together, to break these cycles, to create change, to protect our children, put this net around them. And we have to start asking the hard and uncomfortable questions. And that's where we begin, is asking these questions so that we can dismantle the broken systems that don't protect and shelter. How did this happen? Why was this man already known for a past sexual offense walking freely among us? Why was this man who took Kelsey's life walking freely without knowledge of what he had done prior? Why wasn't Kelsey safe? Why wasn't she protected? Why wasn't she aware? Why wasn't Adrianna protected? Why was the child at a resort and she drowned, but nobody knew where she was? And there's so many stories and cover-ups. Let me be clear. Jamaica needs a transparent, public sex offenders registry. It's long overdue, and it needs to be public for people to have knowledge of it so we can protect, keep an eye out, and be aware of what's happening in our communities. We need systems that warn, not hide, and not cover up. Systems that protect children, all children, none excluded. Systems that protect our children, not predators. This is not about vengeance. And I know that we always say jungle justice, but it's not about vengeance. This is about prevention and how do we create a space, a safe environment that our kids can openly say things to us and we listen and we understand their body language. We understand their tone. We understand their discomfort. This is about accountability as a culture, as a country, as a community. This is about doing what's right, even when it's hard. And sometimes that means it could be our family, our close friends, but we are aware, we know what they've done. And it may be hard to tell everybody else because of shame and because, we feel regret, we feel disgusted. But it's those hard things that helps change these systems and create a safer, healthy system for our children. Now, let me tell you, for a brief second and a reminder why I started Life Deceit. And after seeing these cases, this is why. This is why I do what I do. This is why I started. And every so often, you get into moments where God will show you and be like, hey, remember why you started? This is why you started. This is why I started. I was born in Jamaica. This island shaped me. And it breaks me to see our children suffering in silence, in fear, in trauma. Jamaica's in my heart. It has always been in my heart. No matter how young I left, it never left. It was always there. It always beat for Jamaica. Life Deceit was never about entertainment. It was born from pain. It was never for the clout or for people just to come on and we just talk about whatever. It carried deep-rooted pain and purpose. It was birthed from healing, from the need to strip away lies, face our wounds, and start again. It was birthed from understanding that keeping silent wasn't the answer. Keeping silent wouldn't heal me. Keeping silent wouldn't change me. Keeping silent wouldn't allow me to step in my purpose wholeheartedly. It was birthed from me being that child that was silenced, that child that was hurt, that child that was abused, that child that was ashamed, that child that was neglected, that child that was unheard, that child that experienced what Kelsey did, but I'm alive. It was birthed from me allowing myself to go back to the roots of where it all started I grew into my purpose and I promised to live full in it. And birthing Life's Deceit was to do that. We can't create change alone. It's not a one-man thing. It's not a one-woman thing. It is a village thing. It's a unity thing. It's a community thing. It's an understanding thing. And when children are murdered, when families are left without answers, when the system shrugs and moves on, I'm reminded why this platform exists and why it must continue to exist. While everybody reads the stories and we may be outraged and mad and upset for weeks, months, a year or two, the work is not done. The work must continue. Change doesn't happen overnight, because if we don't make room for truth, grief, and healing, the cycle never ends. And it just continues. And it continues. And it keeps soaking into different generations. And silence becomes complicity. And then we embed tolerance. We continue to tolerate and just let things slide and happen, and we protest and we're outraged for so long that we forget the work that we're supposed to do as one community. What's ahead for this community is us joining together and continuing to do the work. In coming weeks, you'll see more from Life's Deceit, because this is a lifestyle. This is not just something we just wake up and do. It's we live, we breathe it, we do it, we speak it, and we honor it. You will see and you will hear and you will experience more truth telling, more advocacy, more heart. We'll be diving deeper into the MIR method, and I'm going to share with you next week what the MIR method is. It's our framework for transformation. The MIR method is my new baby. And it was my method that I'm going to share with you on how I healed, how I was able to embrace my path and use it to transform not only my life, but other people's lives. Because healing starts with seeing ourselves clearly. That MIR, seeing yourself clear, allowing you to see yourself clearly. It begins with the courage to ask, what's really going on? What is really going on? What are we missing? Why are we not able to make these changes, these shifts, and the strength to change what no longer serves us? It's time to flush out the things and the old systematic things and the old ways that no longer serve us. It no longer works. We got to get rid of the old so new things can come in, so we can work together. This is more than a podcast, believe me. When I created this as a movement, a revolution of truth, a revolution of healing and protection, because I did not have it. I did not have that space to openly say things and anybody listen to me. If we are able to listen more to our children and read them and understand, we can make that change. If we are willing to stand in the gaps and break those systems, we can create better systems. What we will continue to do, we will say their names, Kelsey and Adrianna. We will demand justice. Justice by breaking those systems that just don't work to serve and protect us. We will do the inner work so the outer world can change, because everything starts from within ourselves. Everything starts back here. Everything starts back here. And when your heart and mind are in the right place and they are aligned and connected, we will be a better version of ourselves to help create those exterior changes. We'll push for a national public sex offender registry in Jamaica. It is long overdue, Jamaica. It is. And, you have to understand that it's not invading anybody's privacy, but giving people the right to know what is happening around them, next door to them, what they are living beside, what they're around, what they're exposed to, what their children are being exposed to. It is their right to know, and we must change the system for a better Jamaica. We will call out the failures of institutions that do not protect our children. We will call out these institutions to reevaluate their structures, their methods, their operations, their goals, and their purpose. We will speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. Because speaking truth sometimes, let me tell you, it will shake up some things and make some people real uncomfortable. But sometimes you gotta do those uncomfortable things to get to the sweet spots of life. We'll create spaces for healing for each and every one of us. Spaces that we don't have to be afraid to step into. Spaces we don't have to worry about if we're gonna fit in. There's no fitting in. You're perfect for it. Spaces for grief. Spaces for transformation. Because our children deserve better. And it's not a one-day conversation, then we move on, and then we wait till something else happens, and then that's when we're outraged again. Getting better means doing the work daily. Getting better means being willing to transform, because silence is a luxury we cannot continue to afford. We cannot keep protecting people because they are our loved ones, they're a close family friend, we know them. We gotta start speaking up so we can create safety, accountability systems for our children. To Kelsey, sweet girl, you deserve a life full of love, safety, and joy. We will not forget you. We will not be silent. We will do the work for you. I know that there can be change, and I know your heart wouldn't want to see any other little girl experience or go through what you went through, or any family, mother, father, brother, sister, siblings. To Adrianna, your light was bright and it was taken too soon. We'll speak your name with honor, with absolute honor, and we'll say your name proud and continue to fight for truth in your memory. We'll continue to fight for both you young, beautiful girls, Kelsey and Adrianna. This community, this village, we're not failing you, and we will not fail another child, but we'll fight for truth and justice. To every grieving mother, we see you. We mourn with you. We mourn with you. To our islands, every single island, Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad, wherever, we grieve with you, mothers. To Jamaica, I love you. I was born from your soil, and that's why I speak. That's why I fight. That's why I'll never stop. Because you birthed me to be strong. You birthed me to be fearless. You birthed me with talent. You birthed me with purpose. And you birthed me with so much love and goodness. And I will continue to fight for all the people of that beautiful land that we also love. Out of everything that's happening, we will never stop. And to you, my listeners, your voice matters, your healing matters, your actions matters, and your support, doesn't matter how big or small it is, it will go a long way. Whether it's reposting, whether it's sharing it, whether it's telling somebody, whether it's reaching out to somebody, even to send a message of hope, love, writing to somebody, writing to the governments, writing to the different bodies to create change. Please help each other. If this resonates with you, please don't just scroll past and just get off. Share this episode with somebody. We demand justice. Demand justice. Demand protection for our children. Demand change. Demand a disturbance within the systems so we can be there for our kids and give them a life to live. Please Subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We have topics and we have things that are coming up that we need to work on together as a community. We can't create change by ourselves, and it doesn't benefit us to do it by ourselves. Join our healing community, The Mere Method on Facebook. Come join. Let's talk. Let's create ideas together. Let's figure out how we can dismantle things and rebuild. Sometimes you gotta tear those blocks down and rebuild again, and that's okay. Because healing is not passive. It's a revolution. And healing is not something that we just put off to whenever we feel like doing it. It's now. Because our children need to see what healing looks like. They need to see what healing looks like so that the things that they've gone through, and remember, your kid doesn't have to be the victim of trauma, but somebody that they know. And then it affects them in a way where you don't even understand, because that was their friend, that was their loved one, and that person experienced trauma. To the children who are grieving because they lost a friend, Kelsey and Adrianna was a friend to many, to other children, to people. Support these children that are grieving. Reach out to them. Do not leave them to figure things out on their own and navigate on their own and put the pieces together. Give them understanding. Give them peace. Give them love. Give them grace, and give them a safe space to be able to express themselves and talk to somebody about what they are feeling. It is so important for us to be active and aware and know and have knowledge and give our children security in knowing that we are there for them. As you continue to go about your day, whether it's morning, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, take the time out to go and read up on the Kelsey and Adrianna case. If you see a family member online that, is grieving or going through something, lost a child or lost somebody, give them a word of encouragement for them to keep going, because it's not easy. It is traumatic in your mind, spirit, and soul. And they're trying to fit together the pieces to try to figure out if there's something they could have done different to protect these children. And sometimes they just need a word to pick them up, that they keep going and go through their day. And if you could be that person, please be it. I hope you have an amazing day, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Continue to extend love, extend grace. Be a voice in somebody's life, because we don't realize sometimes how powerful our voice is for somebody, how much change or how we can really touch somebody's life by just saying one thing. Do that. It's cheap to do that. It doesn't cost a lot. But guys, thank you for tuning in with me, your host, Jen Simpson. And thank you for tuning in to Life Deceit's podcast. Please, before you leave, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's have a conversation about what's going on. How can we change things? How can we bring awareness to this? How can we move the justice system to move faster, to create change? Implement new things, get rid of the old ways, bring about new things that not only protects, but exudes love and grace and peace for our children so they can grow and not have to heal from things that they don't need to. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Until next time, I'm Jen Simpson. Bye.